Hey, it's Joe Amoia, founder and creator of GPSforlove.com. Got a little scenario for you. You meet a guy, maybe it's at a club, maybe it's at a bar, maybe it's at a restaurant, maybe it's at your cousin's barbecue, or you're hanging out with some coworkers after work, and you meet this guy and you get along great. You're really attracted to him and you're really interested in getting to know him better. And it seems that he's interested in you. And then all of a sudden, at the end of the night, he asks for your number and says he wants to give you a call. And you're so excited. You're just like, you can't wait. You practically skip home. And then you get home, and the next day, you look at the phone. And then you look at the phone. And that day goes by. And the next day comes, and you're looking at the phone. And you're looking at, and you're scratching your head going, I don't get it. If I told somebody that I would call them, I actually would. And I get that. But you're sitting there and you're waiting. And then all of a sudden, a couple days later, you hear this. Oh my God. And you rush to the phone and you make a mad dash and you pick it up and it's your girlfriend. And your girlfriend's like, hey, guess what? I got backstage passes. We're going to get to meet the band. And you're just like, no, I can't. I've got to sit around. I've got to wait because if I miss this call, I'm going to miss out on my chance for love and I'm going to miss Mr. Wonderful, right? Come on, let's get real. We've all done something like that. We put our life on hold waiting for that guy because we think that we're going to miss our perfect opportunity. Well, I recently received an email from, whoops, that didn't work. I recently received an email from one of the members of our GPS for Love community. It says, Joe, how long should you wait for a guy to call after you first exchange numbers and are trying to go forward? Some say 5 days is the max. What's your take on this? Well, two things on this. First of all, I don't think you should wait for any man. I don't think you should wait for any person. What I do think is that you should live your life. And you shouldn't sit around waiting by the phone, hoping some guy will call. In today's day and age, with cell phones, with answering machines, with voicemail, if a guy wants to get in touch with you and he says he's going to do it, he will. Trust me on this. If we're interested in you, we'll make that effort. We'll make it known. And if we miss you, we'll simply leave a message. Now, if a guy says, you know what, I'll give you a call on Wednesday, and you want to hang out Wednesday waiting for his call, I got no problem with that. In fact, I advise it because that's a great chance for you to see if he's really going to show up and be the man that you're hoping that he's going to be. So, again, don't sit around. Don't wait 3 days. Don't wait 5 days. Just live your life. Just be you. Because at the end of the day, he's either going to be a man and keep his word and he's going to call, or he's not. And if he doesn't call and he doesn't acknowledge it and he calls 3 weeks later, you want to ask yourself, how important is it really for this guy to get to know me? Is this really a priority in his life? Is he really looking for a relationship? Or is he just, acting like a convenience? Now, I'm not saying a man should drop his life to get to know you in the first 3 days, but he should show some kind of interest. Trust me on this. Whenever I've been interested in a woman, she's known it. Okay. And to be honest, when a woman's been interested in me, when I've been reaching out to her, I've kind of known it. So, the red flags and the green flags are always there. You simply have to sit back and pay attention. So, in answer to your question, Malikah, and anybody else, is simply don't wait around. Just go live your life. Now, again, if a guy gives you a commitment and says he's going to call on a certain day around a certain time, therefore, you want to hang out, again, no problem with that. But one of the biggest challenges with all of this is the uncertainty that it puts you in when a guy says he's going to call. You're hoping, you're getting excited, you're planning wedding bells in your head, thinking, and just waiting, and then it doesn't happen. So here's another little tip. We talked about it in the last video, but in case you missed that, I want to give it to you again. If a guy says he's going to call, all you simply do is sit back and go, great, when should I expect your call by? Okay? You're not making him call. You're not demanding. You're just really kind of seeing, are you really being honest? Are you really being truthful? Or are you blowing smoke up my ass? Because a guy who's really honest and who's really genuine and who's really interested in getting to know you and calling will say, hey, you know what? I'll give you a call by Friday. And cool, then Now you're living your life. And again, if he calls on Wednesday and you're not around, you got voicemail, you got an answering machine. You simply say, okay, I'll call you back. And you keep playing phone tag until you get each other. But a guy who's not interested, a guy who's a boy who's just blowing smoke up your ass and just is doing what he's doing for his reasons. And again, I know you want to say, why does the man say he? There's lots of reasons for that. Go back and look at the other video, the 3 main reasons why a guy doesn't call what he says he will. But the bottom line is, who cares? He's not calling, he's not showing interest. And is that the kind of guy you want? You want a guy who's not showing interest in you from the get-go. You want a guy that you have to play games, that you have to manipulate. I strongly and highly recommend that you don't. Because one of the things that makes a great relationship is when the guy shows up from the very beginning showing, I like you. I'm interested in getting to know you. I want to know you more. And that means getting to know you more for you as a person, not just for what's in your pants. And when the guy shows up like that, he'll stand out amongst all the others. You'll recognize that he's not only a man, but he's the right man. So, that's my take on this, since Malikah asked, but I'd love to hear your take on this. You've been a woman, you've dealt with some of the boys. What's been your experience, and what do you recommend? If you were going to give Malikah advice, what would you tell her? So go ahead, put that down in the comment box below. And if you have any other questions, comments, or feedback, go ahead and put those there as well. As always, honor and privilege to be with you. I'll see you next time. Much love.